What is up, everybody? It is your boy Triple G93 here, giving you another commentary match of Halo Wars 2. I forgot who I'm playing against, so I am playing as Jerome, and I honestly don't remember who I was playing against or what I was playing against. So this will be a great commentary match. It's pretty good when you don't really remember what happened. You get more of a fresh take, fresh perspective of how everything's happening. So the way I'm opening up here is more of a supply heavy, and starting off with the Jackrabbit right away to go ahead and what I assume is to go after, the mini power, the mini base and the power that's on that left hand side, and then gonna go ahead and get that gen on my 4th base point, which we just saw right now. So still using the Marines to capture those supplies, and that's pretty much as simple of an opener as we're gonna get. That 5th building point is gonna go ahead and be a gen as well. So let's see if the scout sees anything. It doesn't. So that's my cue to take this power, which is pretty surprising. We're going to go ahead and actually, I was about to say, if I built a supply depot out there, that would have been pretty interesting. But we're going to go ahead and take the mini, and that gen is almost done being made. And we're going to see what our building point is going to be. We're going to have a Marine set up on the garrison to do a little bit of damage on the grunts. That was grabbing the power over there. And we're getting close to the 500 supplies, so it definitely looks like we're going to go for that second gen that I was talking about. So we did grab the mini, which ended up delaying our second power generator, but that is okay. That Marine is still going to go ahead and grab that, but we're going to go ahead and send him on over once he's done getting those supplies, so we can go ahead and get our appropriate mini base with the double slots associated with it. So this build order is pretty smooth opening so far. We didn't really use the Jackrabbit the Scout, and speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and send that over right now. We got the mini base right on time, floating around that 300 supply mark, and we're about to get our advanced gen upgraded as well. So all in all, it was a pretty smooth opening economy wise. We're going to go ahead and see if Red's gotten anything. Red, we saw a war console that has popped up over there, and a supply depot that's associated with it. Still floating some supplies, so wonder what we're going to go ahead and do with that. So we're going to start off with some Marine production, and his main base is full economy on the side, so we're going to go ahead and scout yellow to see what is going on. I do have infantry in the garrison units. Yellow has shown full economy as right now, but we're going to go ahead and check the mini base to see what the enemy has going on over there, and that is a mini base that doesn't have anything associated with it yet. And the second mini base also doesn't have anything associated with it yet, so we're going to go ahead and check out orange as well. We're going to upgrade both supply pads, which I did end up canceling one because I felt like I didn't need to, and Avoridus, which is orange, is going to go ahead and make some engineers. So that is going to be interesting. We got Avoridus for orange, and I still don't. Yellow is, I don't know, and red I believe is Atriox. So, it should be Decimus. It's Decimus. Now this game is starting to get back to me. You see, we have lost to these guys, I think 2 times in a row, and so this was our 3rd matchup. And so I'm immediately replacing that supply depot to go ahead and get a barracks, just because orange seems to be getting a little bit more aggressive, and red has shown up on the map as well. And I think red is Decimus, so still getting a bunch of Marines. We're going to go ahead and get that barracks out. We want to try and get some snipers out as soon as possible. Green is holding off on this lane relatively well, and I was able to grab some free supply that's happening all the way on the right hand side. So there he is. Decimus is chilling at the power node. We're going to go ahead and pop up some snipers. We know we're going to end up needing such a thing. We're going to stay over here on the high ground for now. We not really want to take that engagement until we have our leader out itself. We are going to go ahead and get that grenade ability if I did end up researching that. We're going to go ahead and just retreat for now. So Decimus is now trying to go in for a push. He's checking to see if I've gotten an expansion, and it looks like I don't have one. Obviously I don't, but the question is Decimus going to try and push now, or is he going to try and hold his ground? So it looks like based off the garrison, he's going to go ahead and rotate all the way right over. Meanwhile, you have green fighting yellow over at mid, and I still haven't decided to get that second base yet. I want to make sure that if I'm going to go ahead and do this, I want to be able to have at least the Masterdoms associated with it. So green is doing great pressure on his side. Light blue is also holding his own against orange. Now I'm going to go ahead and start dishing out some damage to go after the grunts. And I do have the grenade ability. We saw the Y move being popped by the engineer. That's my cue to go ahead and retreat just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get our sniper set up appropriately, which we did. We tried going with the Y move with the Jerome. Ended up whiffing completely, but now this is our chance to go ahead and try and just get a little bit of a push here by getting some grenades out on these Marines. Siphon was popped, so that's my cue to go ahead and retreat. These snipers do need to get a little bit closer to help with this fight, and so that's what we end up doing. We're going to go ahead and start trying to retreat our leader a little bit, but he gets pulled in and then he gets Y moved completely. So that's very unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and try and get a good split, but the Vortex does take a couple of my units, but our snipers are now showing up. We're killing everything else. The engineers are starting to fall. His grunt cannon fodder is starting to go away. He is starting to pull snipers, which is fine, but we're going to go ahead and go for that Tech 2. We are also floating a lot of supplies ourselves, but it does look like with what we've got, we're going to end up winning this fight as a whole. So definitely big improvements have to be with the supply game. But look at the micro that we have with the sniper. We're pulling one sniper away to go ahead and keep Decimus distracted with them. At this point, we know he's going to die, so we're going to trade a leader for a leader. I'm going to finally be able to grab that second base, and a cleansing is going down. We're going to end up saving the two snipers. Those were pretty good splits. And even though these other Marines are taking a little bit of damage, it's really just a good engagement all in all, so there's no complaints there. We're going to go ahead and get that third power gen, and we're going to see if red has expanded, and it turned out red has not expanded. Light blue has shown up with ghosts, so things are looking relatively well. Like yellow's second base was cleared out. We're going to start producing Masterdoms. We traded out leaders, and I get to establish a second base. So things are looking relatively well for us so far in this game. But it's still too early to go ahead and call it, just based off what we see, because now the Tech 2 battle is going to go ahead and occur. So still trying to get as much of a pressure as possible and see if I can go ahead and target red's mini base. That's going to be my next target. So we're still making Masterdoms. We're still trying to get a little bit of a push. I want to make sure that red does not have that opportunity to go ahead and expand. That's the one thing that I want to try and stay ahead in regards to the extra bases and the economy as a whole. So Masterdoms are coming in, air pad is coming up, we're upgrading our supply pad to get that supply economy going, and we're still producing plenty of snipers. If you look at the mini-map, yellow is trying to go ahead and get a base on the second in mid as well, and looks like red has popped up on the mini-map again. We do have plenty of snipers, but once again, we want to try and take a good engagement here. He did pull out one of the snipers, and he did get a stun, but will he continue to engage this? That is the question, and no, we end up saving that sniper. We're going to go ahead and go for a split, as what you see here. And he tried to go for a Y move, and the Y move was decent, but honestly, we just have a very good spread of snipers, a very good spread of units, and we know that Decimus is trying to go with air as a whole. And so, great sniper damage that we got going on here. And we weren't able to kill the leader, but we were able to stop that expansion that was happening on that hand side as well. So, still want to see if I can go ahead and do a little bit more than what I got, and thought we can go ahead and get some damage there, but unfortunately we do not. But now we're going to go ahead and get some units inside the Masterdoms. We still got to wait for these other Nightingales to go ahead and save us in regards to the healing department. But we did drop down our Masterdom right away, and we're going to go ahead and just keep trying to establish the second base as much as possible, make some more Marines, and then we're going to see what else of pressure that we can go ahead and bring on to the enemy as a whole. And so infantry upgrades are finally kicking in as well, which is pretty good. Yellow is capturing all the nodes, which is very good at their part. They're going to go ahead and get a huge spike of power, which means Tech 3 is going to be a problem. But we're going to go ahead and try and take out this mini base as a whole. We're starting our retreat. Decimus ends up pulling our leader in. Spartan morale ends up being popped. But unfortunately, we're in like a situation where that wasn't really the best move by me in regards to popping a Spartan morale. We did end up losing our leader once again, which is unfortunate, but we did end up killing other units as well. Wolverines are being made, and we do have a bunch of snipers in our Masterdoms that's helping each other out. And so we're going to see if we can try and get rid of this leader and try and go for an even trade. But now all of a sudden, yellow has shown up as well. So That's my cue to go ahead and retreat a little bit, because now he's got that siege that's starting to set up, which where he starts spawning those little sentinels associated with it, which now we know who we're going up against. Yellow is Anders, and so just trying to keep my army in a good position to go ahead and be able to take this engagement. So Red's going to take advantage of this siege to go ahead and grab a second base, but it's not like I'm in a very drastic spot. Also, I never really upgraded my Jerome. Just looking at him, he's still in the first upgrade, which isn't so good, but we're getting a bunch more Wolverines to go ahead and fight, and we are still floating on a bunch of supply. So let's see if we use this to go ahead and try and grab a third base, because I do feel like we need one. And it turns out we have more Masterdoms than units, which is also pretty interesting in itself as well. So green is trying to get a push on mid, and it looks like yellow kind of overextended himself, because I just saw, yep, 2 Kodiaks there that are going to go ahead and get ready to set up, and this is my cue to go ahead and push. We got plenty of units here. We got snipers, we got Wolverines, and we got Marines inside the Masterdoms with our leader itself coming in. So we're going to go ahead and be able to clear this up really well. And reinforcement upgrade just came in as well, which is going to allow us to get more infantry that's needed inside our Masterdoms as a whole. And so looks like we're going to be able to clear out those Kodiaks. Definitely overextended, probably did in all units, and had his Kodiaks unsieged and wanted to get it placed a little bit better, just never could. So we're going to go ahead and solidify our defenses with turrets, and we're going to stop Red from getting his expansion base. As I said, that's one of the biggest priorities that I was trying to have in general. I want to keep Red on one base. Keeping Destiny on one base when he's trying to go air is a good sign, because air, when it's not masked, it's kind of a problem. And it also looks like we were able to take the majority of our nodes back as well, and finally getting that next upgrade for Jerome. And we're going to go ahead, get the remaining defensive towers on our second base, and we're going to go ahead and upgrade that gen. Let's see what we end up doing with the remainder of our supply. I don't know if there's really going to be anything left, but there is a very good push that's happening by our teammate with light blue and light green. And here's my engagement that's going to end up happening against the leader. And so once again, my Jerome ends up getting caught, but a great Y move to go ahead and save my leader and have him be able to retreat, which is pretty nice. I popped the Spartan morale because of Vortex is going down. I do have field promotion, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to use that just yet. So we're trying to retreat our leader, but once again, our leader just ends up dying, and this Decimus ends up being a real problem in trying to kill. I don't have sanctioned snipers. We're trying to retreat as best as we can. He is pulling units, but we do have the good army comp to go against this, and we finally got through his shields, which means snipers will be able to do a little bit more damage, but his Decimus is just not dying. So we're going to go ahead and go to Tech 3, and now there's the Deci drop as well. This is a problem, but it does look like we're going to at least be able to deal with Decimus here. If we're able to get the vision to go ahead and kill it, looks like he's still alive. This is one of the downsides about high ground in general, but it does look like we're going to be able to get, yep, he is taken care of. And let's see if we're going to go ahead and continue that pursuit against the Deci hero as well. We do get rid of the mini base, which is actually pretty nice, because no more Deci hero as a whole, which is obviously a good sign. And we're going to just keep trying to engage this, going to get grenades off, and then we're going to go ahead and just keep targeting him down. And there goes the Deci hero as well. So definitely lost my leader way too many times, but we did get at least even exchange in regards to that as well. And so we're going to go ahead and get that active camo, because we want to get sanctioned snipers in case that shows up again. But now we're going to just go ahead and show up at Red's last base, and it does seem like one of the enemy quit. I think it's Orange ended up self-destructing all his bases, and so I'm just going to start working on just stripping everything down, just because I don't feel like I have enough building damage in order to go ahead and take everything out. And there we were finally able to get our revenge game. These guys beat us 2 out of the 3 times, but was finally able to play a little bit better and just get better results as a whole. So shout out to our rando teammate that showed up, which was light green. And then as always, my teammate light blue was doing an awesome job as well. And speaking of which, I never even had infantry level 2, and we're 15 minutes in. So definitely need to figure out better ways to prioritize upgrades prioritize unit comp. I did float a lot of supplies. So definitely things could have been done better. Invest more in economy. I have no idea. But all in all, I'm pretty happy about how this played out. And it looks like the remainder of Anders' units is going to end up going away. There's a Spartan on that garrison. And that Spartan is going to be going down very, very soon. And with that, that's pretty much the end of the game. I mean, there's still a couple units that we need to kill, and there's that countdown timer that ends up happening. But all in all, I thought this was a cool game to show just because of how it was played, especially in the early game against Decimus. I lost my leader, but I was able to get a good return back and be able to get what I needed to get that second expansion up. And the micro with the snipers was pretty cool as well. So with that being said, shout out to those guys. Those guys are very good players. And take a final look at the stats. I went 15 for 73. My teammate went 17 for 71. And the random player on our team went 40 for 46. So all in all, very good game. Very fun to play. Hope you enjoyed this one. And that's it. That's it for now. Yeah. So see you next time in the next commentary video. Have a good one. All right. G out.